Good morning. From the Heart, our morning daily devotional. The reading for today is entitled Judas and John Contrasted, September 27th. Under his wings I am safely abiding, though the night deepens and tempests are wild. Still I can trust him, I know he will keep me. He has redeemed me, and I am his child. Under his wings, who from his love can sever? Under his wings, my soul shall abide, safely abide forever. John 13, verse 21. Verily, verily, I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. The opportunities and advantages offered to John were given to Judas also. The same principles of truth were set before his understanding. The same example in the character of Christ was his to contemplate and imitate. But Judas failed to become a doer of the words of Christ. Evil temper, revengeful passions, dark and sullen thoughts were cherished until Satan had full control of the man. John walked in the light and improved the opportunities given him to overcome. But Judas chose his defects and refused to be transformed into the image of Christ, and therefore became a representative of the enemy of Christ and manifested the attributes of the evil one. When Judas came into association with Christ, he had some precious traits of character that might have been used of God and made a blessing to the church. If he had been willing to wear the yoke of Christ, to become meek and lowly of heart, he might have been among the chief of the apostles. But he hardened his heart when his defects were pointed out, and in pride and rebellion chose his own selfish ambitions, and so unfitted himself for the work God might have given him. John and Peter, though imperfect, became sanctified through the truth. It is the same today as it was in the days of Christ. As the disciples were brought together, each with different faults, some inherited or cultivated tendency to evil, so in our church relations we find men and women whose characters are defective. Not one of us is perfect, but in Christ and through Christ we are to dwell in the family of God, learning to become one in faith, in doctrine, in spirit, that at last we may be received into our eternal habitation. We shall have our tests, our grievances, our differences of opinion, but if Christ is abiding in the heart of each, there can be no dissension. The love of Christ will lead to love of one another, and the lessons of the Master will harmonize all differences, bringing us into unity till we shall be of one mind and one judgment. Strife for supremacy will cease, and no one will be disposed to glory over another, but we shall esteem others better than ourselves, and so be built up into a spiritual temple for the Lord. The lessons given to Peter, Judas, and the other disciples are profitable to us and have a special importance at this time. Thank you for listening. Shalom.